Good day, my dear listeners. Welcome to episode 10 and the final episode of Equipping the Next Generation for Impact and Excellence. Today, I want to say thank you. It's been an incredible journey, and we are honored to have share this insightful series with you. By the way, I still remain your friend and host, Adeola Gbadebo, and thanking you for staying with us throughout this journey of empowerment, growth, and self-improvement. It's been a wonderful journey together for the past 10 weeks. But before we delve into today's episode, I'd like us to take a moment to review all the topics that we've covered so far. From episode 1, where we spoke about unleashing your potential, understanding your unique gifts. There we were able to explore self-discovery and how to harness your natural abilities, how you can unleash these potentials and impact this world positively. Episode 2, we spoke about developing emotional intelligence for success. We examined how mastering emotions can lead to better relationships and achievements. We spoke about how emotional intelligence influences leadership, how it can help you to be a good team leader, and how it helps you to take informed decisions. Episode 3, we spoke about time management mastery, making every moment count, where we emphasize the effectiveness of managing time. We spoke about effective strategies to manage time and increase productivity. There we spoke about the quadrant method. You remember that we talked about the first quadrant, important and urgent. The second quadrant, not urgent but important. Third quadrant, which we call the quadrant of deceit, not important but urgent. And then the last one, not important, not urgent. And we told you about the difference between the poor man and the rich man is in the way they deal with time. While the poor man spends time to save money, the rich man would rather spend money to save time. Then in episode 4, we spoke about resilience in adversity, thriving through life's challenges, where we discussed how to navigate setbacks and grow stronger, that you don't just give up. You must have a strong, resilient spirit, that a can-do spirit, a never give up spirit. We spoke about givers, that quitters don't win and winners never quit. And the 5th episode, it was about financial discipline. Financial discipline, building a foundation for wealth, where we learn the principles of financial management for long-term success, not only about saving, also talks about investment and the discipline to spend within our means, not to try to impress people with our dressing, with our spending, with our phones, so we just we buy things according to our need, spend according to our need, not according to our wants. Episode 6, we talked about creating value, how you can become indispensable in any field that you choose. This is where we were able to explore how offering solutions make you valuable. And I did say that there is no organization that will, when they need to downsize, there's no organization that sends away their best hands. It is the hands that they can do without, they always send away. On the 7th episode, we spoke about leaving a legacy, making an impact that outlives you. This is where we challenge our lives to think about the footprints that we're going to leave behind. And we did say that it's not only old people that should think about it, but as young people, we must start thinking about them and taking steps about it right now. Because the legacy that we want to leave behind, we have to start building from now on. You have to start creating that impression from now on. You have to start in the process of making people believe in you from now on. It's not when you are old and you have done a lot of terrible things or things that are not acceptable to society along the line that you now look in retrospect to say this. Many people will not be able to trust that organization, that foundation, that, the legacy that you're trying to leave behind. But if you started and people have known you for your integrity, for your honesty, for the values that you have been bringing to the table, that you have been a solution minded person, you've been solving problems for people, and they already have that affinity towards you, then it is easier for them to key into that foundation, to key into that organization that you want to leave behind as your legacy. Wow. What a topic. What a journey. What a series that we have dealt with. Today, we want to talk about sustaining integrity in a compromised world. I chose this topic because when I looked at everything that we've spoken about, I thought that we should end with this, which will continually prick our conscience for us to understand that before we can make impact, and be an excellent oriented person, the impact we want to make, without integrity, it rubbishes everything. There's nothing else we want to do. You would lose the trust of the people that you are trying to impact. And what we're trying to do is to equip you as the next generation for impact and excellence. So without treating a topic on integrity, we probably lose all the flavor that we have started with. We lose the momentum because what happens is that it nosedives. And once a plane nosedives, it is heading for a crash. You will notice that when a plane is trying to take off, it lifts its head up and it takes off like that. When it is landing also, its head is also up. What we're saying is that we want to treat this topic so that your head is always held high every time. You don't need to, when you enter into any space, you enter with your head's high. So today we're talking about sustaining integrity in a compromised world. What is integrity? Integrity is the quality of being honest, having, strong morals, principles, and doing the right thing, even when no one is watching. Integrity is the foundation of trust, credibility, and respect in personal and professional relationships. Integrity is not just about words, but also about actions that align with our values. The first question is, do you have values? What are your personal values? What are the values that the society holds high? Do you key into those values? Are you a valuable person? Are you a person of value? If you have personal values, it will help you not to take some steps. It will define the kind of person you are. And it is sustaining those values and working in those values, aligning with them at all times, that creates integrity. Integrity means that you are someone who is known for your stance, your moral stance, your ethical stance, and that you're a person of value, that you are reliable, you are responsible, and that people can trust you. When you are responsible and you are reliable, you are dependable, people generally trust you. They know what you have to offer, and most of the times, they're the ones who pronounce your values, who announce your services. What is a compromised world? Remember, the topic is sustaining integrity in a compromised world. We live in a world where dishonesty, corruption, shortcuts, unethical practices have become commonplace. We live in a world where it is almost, you are almost sure that corruption is present in every place. We live in a world where people are no longer patient. They want everything to happen now. The value of patience is lost in this world. High moral standards is lost in this world. Therefore, it is easy for someone with integrity to stand out. It's a world where moral standards are often overlooked for personal gains. Quick access, quick success, societal acceptance. People want to be acceptable in the society. People believe generally that money solves everything, so just get money. The process of getting your money does not really matter. Just have money. And they think that when they have money, they'll be acceptable to the society. They want to fit into the society. They want to be the happening person in the society. However, even in such an environment, choosing to uphold integrity remains a powerful and rewarding decision. You stand out. Everybody knows your stand. They know. They will say, well, we know that we are the same, or I don't know. Maybe you have friends, that have said that, well, we know that, so we be, but we don't say this one a different person. This one, no, it doesn't. This one is out. I remember when we were, when the jam lesson, and we had people who were always making noise, and I was part of the noise makers anyway. And so one day, the owner of the place was going to punish us, but there's a lady in our class that we all know that was always quiet, always reading her book. She stays in her place. She doesn't disturb anyone. While we were all being asked to come out, I think a few people who had conscience raised their hands and said, sir, this girl is not among us. All of us can punish the rest of us, but she's not among us, because we know that she doesn't make noise, she doesn't do anything. And the owner of the tutorial center punished the rest of us and left her alone. Why? Somebody has integrity, who stayed, and everyone knew. Nobody argued against that statement, because we all know that that's the way she is. So what I'm saying is that even in this world, we all value people who uphold integrity. We all value people who uphold integrity. So the question now goes, why should young people cultivate and value integrity? Why? Number one, integrity builds reputation. Integrity builds reputation. People can trust you. They will respect you. Those who constantly uphold ethical values are held in high esteem within the society. Integrity also opens doors to opportunities. Now, the employers and investors and mentors prefer individuals with strong moral principles to give opportunity to. When an opportunity comes, even if it's the organization that we nominate, you say, yes, this is the person. That international stuff to train abroad, let's give to this person, because we trust this person. We know that, even if it's just to be a reward for his integrity, they will always nominate such people. Integrity ensures peace of mind. Yes, you have nothing to hide. and nothing to fear when you live honestly. Nobody can blackmail someone who has integrity. The person who tries to blackmail one who has integrity, that story will not hold together for a long time. It's a matter of time that when they see, and when you spread news about such a person, the person does not even bother. Because he knows that once anybody who investigates, you will find nothing. So it gives you peace of mind. Integrity fosters meaningful relationships. Both personal and professional relationships thrive on trust. Yes. If I can trust you that what we agreed on, you will do it, then we will always deal together. But if I cannot trust you, you have no integrity, why should I deal with you? Integrity protects you from legal and ethical troubles. Yes, living truthfully keeps you away from scandals. No problem. You have no issues. You are one with high moral standards, high ethical standards also. So there is no legal issue for you. You live a life that is void of scandals. Yes, you are not found where you are not supposed to be. You don't go to where you are not supposed to go. You don't do the things you are not supposed to do. And you do the things that are expected of you. Anyone who lives with such values would have no scandal. Now, how does integrity promote the skills and values of young people in this global village? We live in a global village. So what we're trying to say is that right from the corner of your room where you are, doing one thing within your society, within your organization, amongst your friends, the whole world is watching you. As long as one person can see you, the whole world is already watching you. All it takes is that person to record you and put it online. If the video goes viral, it goes all over the world and people can see you. So we need to understand that we're in a global village and the world is a small place now. So integrity enhances credibility in business, leadership, and entrepreneurship. It confers credibility on you. It ensures long-term success rather than short-term gains. Integrity fosters stronger global collaborations as the world values ethical professionals. Yes, if you're an ethical professional, the world values you. It gives you a competitive advantage. People trust those who consistently display integrity. Having known now that we live in a compromised world, how can we then sustain integrity in a compromised world? How can we sustain integrity? How do we ensure that our integrity is intact? That we are not corrupted? That because we cannot beat them, we don't join them? How do we ensure that we stand firm and stand right at all times? How do we ensure that this integrity is not compromised when we get to a level that we are confronted with so much temptation, the huge temptation that looks and sounds so rewarding? How do we ensure that we can sustain this? We need to set personal ethical standards and decide in advance that you will not compromise your values. You have to decide in advance. Deciding in advance means that you have to envisage that such a thing or such and such things can happen in the future, and then make up your mind and begin to prepare yourself for that thing, for that eventuality. You need to take that decision that you will not compromise your values, even if, no matter how, even if it has to even if it has to do with your life, that no matter the pressure, you will stand by your values. You need to also surround yourself with people of integrity. After all, it says that birds of a feather flock together. Your company influences your character. You need to have accountability partners, people that you believe in the same values, people of like minds, and people who also have integrity. That within that network, you have a strong bond, and you can support one another in difficult times, especially difficult times for one of you. So if you are going through difficult time, but because you have surrounded yourself with people of integrity, you have a group that you can share with and tell them that, guys, this is what I'm going through. And the temptation to accept this, to compromise, to circumvent this system is high. And then you can rely on this group of yours, and they will remind you of the values that you need to stand by. Don't forget that our value, what we have agreed upon in this group is that we will never compromise those values. Don't worry, even if it means that you will have to lose that job, we are here, we will support you, we will be with you, and we'll go through that journey with you. So you have to stay true to your word, be reliable, and fulfill your commitments. A Lannister always fulfills their promises. That line is from Game of Thrones. If you watched Game of Thrones before, you will remember that one of the things that the Lannisters have been known for is when they give you their word, they will do it no matter what, except one of them, of course, Cersei the Queen. So you need to avoid shortcuts and quick fixes. You can't be, you must take the right path. Insist on the right path every time. It may be a longer one, but this is more rewarding. Insist on taking the right route. Even when somebody invites you to say, please come, and they're giving you options of that will shorten the time that you spend there and all that, but you know within your heart that this is not the right procedure. You have to insist and say, I'm sorry, I appreciate you guys are trying to help me, so I don't stay here too long, but I'd rather stay on the line and take my turn. This is what marks out people of integrity. Be accountable. Yes, find mentors or peers, like I said earlier, who will hold you to high moral standards. People who will... My friend and I wanted to have a deal with... We were trying to get a contract from the Ogun State government some time back, and a particular ministry. And because they wanted us to go through a corrupt procedure, we refused, and we told ourselves, look at us in the eyes and told that person, we said, we have made up our mind that we will not be part of the corruption that is happening in Nigeria. We're sorry, we cannot take this. And then we left the contract. It was a juicy one. It was one that then could have given us a breakthrough early in life. But we chose to jettison it because it wasn't right. And the person who introduced us, brought us into the system, was so angry with us. He blasted us, and then eventually called my friend's dad and said, Uncle, I've tried my best for your son and his friend. They are both stupid boys. I don't know what concerns them with so and so. That's what they were giving. So, after that, my friend's dad eventually called us some moments later and said, I'm proud of the two of you. I'm proud that even in these times, with the pressure that is going on, with the fact that you guys also want to break through, you can resist corruption. You need people like that in your life who will be able to, to comfort you when the challenges of your integrity, when your integrity presents challenges to moving forward. That's what it looks like at that time. Eventually, the person who was angry and abused us and all that saw me a few years after, when he was now out of government. I came down to say hi to him. He was talking to someone and he said, "Excuse me, do you remember those guys I spoke about? That they rejected this contract because they said it was corrupt? This is one of them." I said, if you are looking for one person who has integrity that you can trust this one. That's what integrity does. Remember the consequence of compromise. Short-term benefits of dishonesty often lead to long-term regrets. Let's talk about a few people who have been rewarded for their integrity. I think the first example is our best example. The late Professor Dora Akunyili, former Director General of NAFDAC, former Minister for Communication. If you know Dora's story, you would know that it didn't start with NAFDAC. It started when she was when she I think she was with this education fund that Buhari headed then under the military administration, I think, of both of Abacha and this Petroleum Trust Fund, PTF. It was from PTF that Dora had to go and do something in the US, and when she got there, she got all the ESTA code and all the money that she was supposed to go. But when she was not going to spend as the number of days that she was supposed to spend, and something happened to the event, and she returned all the money that was spent. So it was no need. She returned, and everybody was surprised. So when the former president Olusegun Obasanjo needed someone to head NAFDAC, because of that act, she was nominated. I think it was Buhari who nominated her to say that I've not found somebody like this in Nigeria. And then she was nominated to head NAFDAC. And we all know what happened during her stay at NAFDAC, where she fought against fake drugs and the corruption that is in the pharmaceutical industry. But her integrity saved countless of lives and earned her international recognition. It was based on that job and her integrity that she eventually became the Minister for Communication under Yar'Adua. And we also know when President Yar'Adua died, she was the one who came out and spoke about it and spoke out. Of all the ministers, she was the one who eventually also spoke out. We all know the story of Nelson Mandela. We all know how, after spending 27 years in prison for standing against appetite and never compromised his values, his integrity earned him global respect and led to South Africa's eventual freedom. I'm going to talk about Mahatma Gandhi in India. Gandhi's commitment to truth, justice, and non-violence, inspired millions and led India to independence. His unwavering integrity made him a global icon. My dear audience, integrity is one of the most critical behavioral competence for success in the 21st century. It is not always the easiest path, but it is most rewarding one. A world that lacks integrity struggles with corruption, distrust, and short-lived successes. However, a young person who consistently upholds honesty, fairness, and strong moral values will always stand out, succeed, and stand tall. Now I ask of you, what legacy of integrity do you want to leave behind? We want to hear from you, so we'll ask you to share your thoughts, your questions, and contributions with us. Send your feedbacks to contact@thearmourgate.org, or you can contact us on our WhatsApp +234 810 999 6666. I'll take that again. +234 810 999 6666. Stay connected with Armourgate Radio Communications on the social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, all at Armourgate. As this is the last episode for this quarter, I want to encourage you to stay tuned for another insightful and impactful series coming up in the second quarter of 2025. Don't miss it. Finally, integrity is doing the right thing even when no one is watching. If you have integrity, nothing else matters. If you don't have integrity, nothing else matters. Thank you for being part of this journey. Until we meet again, stay true to your values and keep striving for impact and excellence. Bye for now.